Hey fam, glad you clicked in, because what's going down in Dalton, Illinois, it's straight up political theater. I'm talking betrayal, scandal, downfall, and a comeback plot twist nobody saw coming. Buckle up because the story, it's got layers. Let's rewind the tape to May 2021. Dalton made history that night. A small, mostly black town chose Tiffany Henyard as mayor, the first young black woman ever to hold that seat. She came in hot, promising empowerment, reform, and the kind of leadership people had been begging for. The community rallied around her. They believed in her. They prayed she'd finally be the one to change the game. But hope has an expiration date. And in Dalton, that expiration came quick. Instead of fixing the mess, Tiffany became the mess. Headlines started popping off left and right. Allegations swirled that she was burning through taxpayer money like it was her own personal credit card, on hair bundles, candles, sandals, even kitchenware, while her people struggled. She was out here allegedly shopping on their dime. And if you question her, she didn't just clap back, she went to war. Town meetings turned into shouting matches. Videos showed her barking at critics, most of them black residents, simply asking for accountability. Y'all should be ashamed, she snapped. Y'all black and sitting here attacking a black woman that's empowered. But shouting couldn't drown out the truth. Investigations followed. Protests grew louder. The pressure built until something had to give. And finally, it did. Dalton made the switch. The people voted in a new mayor, Jason House. And trust me, this wasn't some quiet old ceremony. City Hall was jam-packed. Folks spilled onto the steps outside. The energy? Electric. When Jason House laid his hand on the Bible and swore to serve with honesty and integrity, the crowd erupted. One resident whispered, "This ain't just a mayor, this is history." And they were right. Dalton's chaos had just become a national headline. Now, with Jason House at the helm, the mission is crystal clear. Rebuild trust, bring back transparency, and clean up the mess left behind. And judging by the overwhelming support, the people are ready for a fresh start. Meanwhile, Tiffany? She's drifted into Facebook land. No apologies, no explanations, just filtered selfies and random motivational quotes like none of this ever happened. The same woman who once pulled in $347,000 a year, more than the governor of Illinois, is now making nothing. No salary, no perks, no power. And rumor has it, she didn't even stack any of that cash. Because here's the hard truth. When you chase power for clout, it never lasts. And when it's gone, if you didn't lead with honesty, nothing's left behind. No loyalty, no legacy, just silence. But this story, it's bigger than Tiffany. It's about what happens when leadership fails, and what happens when a community finally wakes up. Dalton's wide awake now, and they're not going back to sleep. While Tiffany was busy hogging the spotlight, others were putting in the quiet grind. Names like Edward Steve, names like Jason House. They weren't clout chasing. They weren't posing for cameras. They were serving out of love for the community, not love for likes. And here's the twist. Jason House didn't even want the mayor's seat at first. For years ago, he had the chance. He said no. Why? Because he believed in service without applause, showing up without needing a headline, giving without expecting a thank you. But when things at the boiling point, when the scandals, dysfunction, and betrayal grew too heavy, Jason House finally stood up and said, "Enough." And when he stood, the people stood with him. Dalton doesn't just owe Jason House applause. They owe him respect. Because true leadership doesn't come draped in designer brands with a camera crew in tow. Sometimes it comes quietly, rolls up its sleeves, and simply gets to work. And sure, some defenders will still cry foul. They'll say they just didn't want to see a black woman win. That's the fallback excuse, the tired playbook. But let's keep it real. That narrative misses the entire point. Yes, being a black woman, a black man, even a single parent, that's powerful. That's identity. And identity matters. It inspires. It makes history. It moves people to believe change is possible. But let's be real. Identity alone won't keep you in that seat. What does? Discipline, integrity, the ability to show up day after day for the people who trusted you enough to put you there, because the job still has to get done. In places like Dalton, Atlanta, Jackson, Montgomery, cities built on black culture and legacy. Being black isn't a barrier, it's an advantage. These communities are filled with power, with pride. But once you got the position, it's not about the image. It's about what you actually do with that power. I'm from Sacramento. Out here, unless you're in LA or Oakland, climbing that ladder isn't easy. That's why so many of us look to cities like Detroit or Atlanta, places where black leadership left real marks. But here's the catch. Those dreams only work when the leaders we elect stop playing and actually do the work. Too often, folks rise up only to drop the ball. They start chasing attention. They care more about followers than followers up. And when that happens, who suffers? Always the community. Always the people. And that's why we can't keep treating leadership like a hustle. It's not a side gig. It's a responsibility. When you're trusted with power, you honor it. You follow through. You don't flex, you serve. If we don't get serious, we'll just keep spinning in circles, watching neighborhoods fall apart while leaders chase the spotlight. And make no mistake, this isn't just about Tiffany Henyard. This is about leadership, real leadership, and about what we do when someone hands us that chance to lead. Because a vote isn't a free pass to stunt. It's a duty. It's a test. Do you lift your people, or do you lift yourself? That's the line between service and betrayal. Let Dalton's saga be the lesson, not just for one village, but for every block, every city, every district dreaming of change. When you trust someone with power, watch closely how they use it. If they abuse it, if they twist it, if they chase clout instead of progress, they'll end up just like Tiffany. Title? Gone. Respect? Gone. Legacy? Faded. What's left? Some filtered selfies and memories nobody cares about anymore. Because when you lead with purpose, when you actually show up, leadership can bless you. It can elevate your name, cement your legacy, let you walk away proud. But only if you stay grounded. Only if you stay humble. The moment you start thinking you're untouchable, that's when it all collapses. The money? Gone. The followers? Gone. The platform? Gone. Just like that. And speaking of collapse, let's talk about Kamal Woods. Yeah, that Kamal. The married man who allegedly got swept into Tiffany's world when everything looked sweet. When the checks cleared, the trip sparkled, the press loved her. Back when she had shine, and he had reason to stick around. But now that the bank account's empty and the spotlight's faded, you think he's hanging around for microwave dinners and tension in the room? Please. That man's already halfway out the door. Suitcase packed, GPS set for the exit. Because here's the truth. He was never there for her. He was there for the perks, for the clout, for the ride. And now that ride's over? So is he? Because when the power dries up, so do the people who are only in it to feed off it. Tiffany's not just out of office. She's out of support, out of leverage, out of time. And yeah, it stings, but it's the crash she built herself. That's what happens when you treat public service like a hustle instead of a calling.